First of all, we have to get rid of this mentality that only American or US funded journalists are the most pure, non biased, and genuine representation of media. Disinformation is real, and American taxpayers' money was being used all along to disseminate it. Just look at this data. USAID was funding more than 6,000 journalists abroad, also more than 700 media outlets. Well, congratulations, not anymore. For this year alone, the US agency had earmarked more than 250 million US dollars to support journalists and free flow of information. Coming to Ukraine, the US funded 9 out of 10 media outlets. According to Reporters Without Borders or the RSF, Ukraine's so called independent media required $100 million over the past 3 years to rebuild the media landscape inside Ukraine, Russia, as well as Belarus. In the name of shoring up free media, the US aid ended up propping new propaganda mouthpieces who would just publish anti Russia content and falsely trick the people of Ukraine into believing that their nation was actually winning the war. All these years, the US wanted to hijack the free flow of information. In September last year, Meta and Google cracked down on all Russian media outlets. The move came after US State Department said Russia was using its RT media to conduct covert activities. US prosecutors went after RT's chief editor, accusing her of designing an entire empire of covert projects in order to influence Western audiences. Before that, RT and other Russian media outlets had already been banned by UK, Canada, and the EU. Some nations even charged these outlets with crimes linked to money laundering. The idea was to block the flow of information from Russia, and then they started funding media in Ukraine. Now that their funding has been frozen by Trump administration, this propaganda empire is already coming crashing down. According to the RSF, several NGOs, media outlets, and journalists are descending into chaotic uncertainty. Several media outlets in Ukraine have announced the suspension of their activities and are searching for other solutions for funding. Over the past year, we saw several instances when this disinformation network from Ukraine led to confusion and chaos worldwide. These US funded outlets blasted Amnesty International when the allegations of human rights abuses were leveled against Ukraine's forces. They rejected reports of Ukraine losing territory in the east and internal government changes. These outlets would paint a picture of Ukraine successfully slowing down a large and well organized Russian advance. On social media, optimistic footage circulated actively, reinforcing the false idea of a strong counterattack by Ukraine. The irony is striking. Ukraine was using American money to trick Americans and provide them with false information about the war. In an interview with the Financial Times, a former senior Kyiv official admitted that Ukraine often used what he called counter propaganda during the intense battles for Bakhmut. This effort aimed to maintain an image of success even as Western allies questioned whether holding Bakhmut was worth the heavy losses. US backed media frequently referred to the city as Fortress Bakhmut and indestructible. Kiev propaganda often supported false claims, with some statements later being proven incorrect. Forbes cited an example where Kiev minister Mikhailo Fedorov falsely claimed that a cyber attack by Ukraine's IT army had shut down the Moscow exchange, when in fact it continued operating. So, this is the real face of Ukraine's propaganda, nurtured by none other than the US taxpayers' money. But all thanks to Trump and Elon Musk, that the US aid and these fake news media outlets have been shut down. The propaganda arm of the Zelensky regime has been bulldozed. Make news great again.